What's going on, guys? Proof here, and today I'm bringing you something a little different. What this is gonna be is a price breakdown for Rise and Miracle Sprite Brothers. Not necessarily what I'm playing, but it's kind of a way to help those that are interested in wanting to get into the clan have an idea of how to go about budgeting for said deck. And so what this is going to be more of a bare bones breakdown of the deck itself and the minimum or maximum, pretty much the lowest amount that you'll be able to play or to pay to play it at the highest level with the least amount of tech options in there. Hopefully I explained that well. So pretty much it's not going to be a pure budget deck, but it's going to be what you need at least to be able to play this at a high level tournament to give yourself the best chance of winning. And then from there, I'll leave it up to you guys if you're interested in wanting to play the deck to figure out where you can make substitutions to put in more budgetary options. So what I'm gonna do is on the screen, it's gonna have the card itself, how much it costs on average to get the number, the quantity for it. So unless it's already in said quantity on TCG Player, which is where I got the prices from. So for example, if the card it is a 4 of, and there is a vendor that was selling 4 of those at a bundle price per unit, that's the number that I used. But if they're like a 1 of here, 1 of there, 2 of somewhere, excuse me, I gave like a mindful average of how much it would cost to get insert number here of the particular card to get up to the final quantity. So with that being said, for those, if you're interested in playing Rise of Miracle, the quote-unquote winning image for this deck is to amass charge units into your hand while applying pressure on your opponent to build up to a really big Miracle Ace turn where you utilize his Generation Break 3 skill to chain together a string of attacks that overwhelms your opponent. And from there, you're going to need cards that facilitate said strategy. So I'm going to go from grade 0 to grade 3 and into the grade 4s, and then hope you guys enjoy. If you like it, let me know what you think, and I can expand this into the other big version or big deck variants for Sprite Brothers. And then if those go well, I can maybe go on to other clans as well, because I have people that I hope I have people that be willing to pass along deck lists for clans that I'm not as familiar with. So your starter for this deck is going to be Mecha Trainer. His utility is second to none. Being able to get any grade 0 or 1 out of your deck at a moment's notice, provided it sticks around, is amazing. And Mecha Trainer is going to only cost you 15 cents. So keep that in mind. As for the other grade 0s, you want 4 Lyre Lips, which is the Ryzen Nova critical trigger. And she's more pricey considering she's a double rare. She's $2.23 per card. And then you want, in this particular version of the deck, you want at least 2 Silence Joker, which is the critical trigger from way back in set 3, I believe. And since it's an older card, it's a little more expensive, but still okay by today's standards, and he's $2 per card. And then you want 4 Mecha Advisor, which is the new draw trigger coming from the tech booster. And since it's a more new card and it's a common, it's more widely available than some of the other draw triggers. And Mecha Advisor is only 9 cents per card. And then the heal in this particular case is going to be Magical Manager, also from the tech booster, and she will only cost you 13 cents per card. And then you want 2 Double Watch, which is the stand trigger from the tech booster as well. And Devil Watch is going to cost you not a lot at all. It's going to only cost you 9 cents per card as well, so more in line with the draw trigger and some of the other triggers. Going into your grade 1s, you want your PG is going to be a Millie, which is the charge PG, which combines better with your Miracle Ace turn and your Rising Nova Vanguard calling her out, your Miracle Ace turns being able to string together those charge attacks you need. And she's only 22 cents per card, which is amazing by PG standards. You want 3 Frog Raider, which is your, I think he'd be considered a peer clone, which is a grade 1 that requires a certain name, which is usually of the stride break or the strider, to be on your Vanguard circle. And Frog Raider is only 23 cents per card. And then you want 3 Acrobat Verity, which is the stride enabler. Great for being able to combine with Mecha Trainer if you're missing a Rising Nova in your hand. As long as you have a grade 3, you'll be able to search it out. Pretty much guaranteed near perfect ride consistency, which is amazing for you. And it's only 43 cents per card. Then you want 3 Mood Maker Neon Rook, aka Cat Ball Player. Charge unit, adds your charge base. Pretty decent card coming out early into your into your Miracle Ace turn to give more boost to your Frog Raider. And Mood Maker is only 9 cents per card. And then into the grade 2s, you want 4 Wink Killer Misery, which is your Amber clone, which helps, one of the components that helps ties the deck together. And she's more pricey considering how amazing she is, but still pretty decent. And she comes out to about $6.78 per card. And then 4 Hevewees, which is the on charge, get 10,000 power. Great for forcing through that late damage, because it's hard to deal with something that's 46,000 out of nowhere. And he is 12 cents per card. 4 Cobalt Impulse, aka Buster Wolf. I love Cobalt Impulse, he's so amazing. And he is also a charge unit. It's on charge. If he hits your opponent or you draw a card, that's important. You draw first, and then you retire one of your opponent's rear guards if they have one. So the draw is not contingent on them having a rear guard for you to retire. And he's only 15 cents per card. Going into the grade 3s, we have our stride unit, aka the hard strider, whatever you want to call it. Exceptional expertise Rising Nova, and he is your quarterback, and he helps you tie everything together for your deck. And the stride skill is when your Vanguard attacks, counterblast 1, put a card from your hand into the soul, search your deck for a unit, call it to an open rearguard circle, and it gets plus 5,000 power. So you combine that with Cobalt to be able to more easily hit your opponent and force more cards out of their hand or draw the card that you need. Combine it with Frog Raider to have it be a 12k booster on your Miracle Ace turn. Combine it with Double Watch to be a 12k attacker, so it can hit unboosted if you call it out and help facilitate your Miracle Ace. All kinds of different utilizations. And the GB2 skill is just on attack, put a card from your hand into the soul, call a unit out to an open circle, no power or anything. And since he's more of the centerpiece of the deck, he is not, what's the word? Not unironically, that's not even the word. It's not surprising that he is the most expensive unit in this deck, in your main deck, and he comes in at $9 per card. You want 2 Hivemaker, which helps you on your Miracle Ace turn to help turn, quote unquote, convert 2 soul into 1 counterblast type of deal. And he is your counterblast 1, soul blast 1. When you ride him, check top 5 for a charge unit and add it to your hand. And he's also on rear guard while charging. When it returns to the deck, you can counterblast 1 and call a card from your hand into an open circle. So that's what I mean by converting 2 soul on your Miracle Ace turn into the 1 counterblast, which makes it great as a late entry into your turn when your opponent's hand is low and they don't think you have the soul to continue. And then you want 2 Bulldozer Dobe, which is the bigger version of Hevewees, and he gets plus 10,000 while charging as well, and he comes in at only 9 cents per card. And going into your stride base, which is going to be the money sink. Not really, that's not true, because the base is more expensive. This is where more money may go into it, and also this gives you the opportunity to cut some costs as well if you feel you don't need certain pieces. But for your boss stride, the guy I've been talking about, the guy you want to lead up to, is Shootdown King. I'm sorry fam. Shootdown King Miracle Ace. He says Counterblast 1, activate him. When a unit returns to your deck, you can give another unit plus 5,000 to the end of turn. And GB3, when the unit returns back to the deck, you can Soul Blast 2. If you do, call a card from your hand into an open circle. And both the skills you get off the activate are red text, meaning that as long as you can fulfill the condition during your turn, you get the benefit of getting the skill on top of that, which is where the chain call comes from, which is why you want all the charge units in your deck. And he comes in on average at about $7 per card. And then 3 Great Villainous Denfair Lily. She is my personal favorite first stride option, provided you're not going into first stride Miracle Ace off of a G Guardian. She says on hit, call a unit with charge from your hand onto a circle. Doesn't have to be an open circle. And that card gets, when it returns back to the deck, draw a card and 5,000 power as well. And then she is only 17 cents per card. And then 1 Great Villain Dirty Picaro. And Picaro is your GR stride, so naturally more expensive as well. And he helps you against the control matchups to help push damage in, to help lead into a Miracle Ace turn if the game goes a little more slowly. He says Counterblast 2, GB3 on attack, Counterblast 2, flip up a unit in your G zone face up and put a card from your hand into the soul. And then search your deck for up to the number of face up G unit cards that you have and call out a unit onto the field into a respective open circle. And he comes in at $13.25. You want 1 air element Sea Breeze, and I'm sure Sea Breeze is widely known by everybody. Helps you stride when your opponent tries to stick you at grade 2. You won't use it as much in this deck because counter blasts are harder even with your unflipping units, but it's nice to have that to keep your opponent honest. And Sea Breeze is $8 per card, but you only need 1, so $8 there. 1 super heavy Chariot Tiger Centurion from the Fighters Collection 2015, I believe, or 2016, earlier this year, one of the two. And Counterblast 1, choose up to 5 rear guards and put them in a charge state. I think that's how it goes. And then for every unit you don't put in a charge, it gets plus 2,000. It's decent. You want to have one just in case the opportunity shows itself. If you have a bunch of charge units on the field that you want to get off the field. And it comes in at 41 cents per card. And then Godly Speed Flash Bruce, which is on hit, put a card from your hand into the soul, call out another unit, and it gets plus 5. I'm not the biggest fan of this guy in comparison to Denfair Lily, and because you lose the card and it's more of a break even in terms of on field, but the unit may not stick around anyway, so it's a natural minus in that instance. But you can have it around. And you can also cut it if your budget's a little bit higher to make space for second Picaro or a 4th Lily or stuff like that. But he comes in at 72 cents per card. And then for your G Guardians, there's 3 excellent cheerleader Airy from the Fighters Collection that came in with Tiger Centurion. And she says, when placed on guard circle, if you have 3 or less rear guards, plus 5,000 shield, which is easy to achieve for this deck. And she's only 23 cents per card. And then 1 heavy element Screw. So if you have a face-up card in your G zone, when you can G guard him and use his ability of discard a card and give it plus 10,000 shield. It's great for this deck to help turn useless cards into guards, so you can save some of your charge units in hand. And it's also good to have that emergency plus extra shield value as well. And he's $5.49 per card, but you only need 1. And then finally, 1 Dark Element Dismal. Dismal is great for protecting Misery in those matchups where your opponent can't easily remove her off the field to lead into your G guard turn or into your ace turn. So you can call her out and protect her so your opponent can't hit her. And then she sticks around for your ace turn as well. And then Dismal is Dismal is $8.73 in total for the one. So all that said, your grand total is going to come out to $147.78. By meta standards, that's pretty decent because there's some decks that'll cost you over $200 to get it tournament ready. And so I think that's really good. And this is the cheapest that you'll need to spend to get the deck tournament ready, like I mentioned in the at the start of this. You can make cuts. You can maybe feel you don't need a Dismal in there. May not feel you need Picaro. You may not have the money for Picaro. So what you can do is that you can take this 147 and then add and subtract in the cards that you have the money for, and then figure out how much you will need to build the deck. And so hope you guys enjoy. I want to keep this a little more condensed, so keep trying. If it's under 20 minutes, that's amazing, because I know I can get wordy. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you want to see this for other decks. If you like it, I can do it for the other two big versions of Spike Brothers like I mentioned before, and then I can expand it from there. And like, comment, subscribe for more. Check out some other content. Spike Brothers guy himself, aka the coach, is what people call me around. And until next time, guys, peace. Be easy.